Hello everybody, welcome back. I put out a video yesterday regarding the Prime Minister of our country who wears fake eyebrows, and during the G7 meeting one of them had come off and then he was being interviewed and the other one sort of come off and made its way down into his field of vision. And I had brought up the point about the Queen of England, who was also the Queen of Canada, and I'm a subject of the Crown, which I was making clear yesterday. So the more I thought about being a subject of the Crown, I think it's important that the people of the world understand what responsibilities the Crown has to its subjects. And as I had pointed out yesterday, President Trump is not required to bow before the Queen. And that is because he is not a subject of the Queen. His beautiful wife does not have to curtsy before the Queen. Now, unfortunately, British newspapers took great exception with this until they got educated and realized that America had a war of independence from England. And the reasons for that war, there really weren't that many of them, but they were largely financial. And England at that time was taxing America to death. And there was a little rebellion. It was all about money. Thankfully, the Americans were successful, thankfully, in gaining their independence from the Crown. So this Crown, the Queen of England, is actually a German. I don't know if anybody knows that. Her real last name has 4 names in it. They're all German. They're hyphenated. She has 4 names. I know of 2 of them, Saxe, Goethe, and the other 2, I used to know them all. I can't think of what they are right now. She's from the House of Habsburg. But anyway, they're Germanic. Prince Philip himself is supposed to be the king of Greece. He says he grew up on an island in Greece, which I think is kind of interesting. And there was a little problem. The people of Greece didn't exactly think that they should have a man of German extraction being their king. So the British Navy apparently picked up the young man and brought him to England. And he got a job, and he ended up in the Navy, in fact, the British Navy. Even it's an interesting thing about British military people. They take on the name of, his real name is, Prince Philip's real last name is Battenberg, which is obviously German. And he had a relative who became a lord, who's also a German. His name is Battenberg as well, but he changed his last name to Mountbatten. He became a very significant person in the Second World War. And it became a little bit of a problem, you see, when you have German military leaders in England facing German military leaders from Germany. Then the question comes as to, well, what loyalties do you have, since you're a German, they're a German? Wow. So it became Mountbatten rather than Battenberg. Anyway, the Queen of England, let's go back to her. She married a man who later became known as Prince Philip. I'm not sure what his real first name is. However, and then because of the warring and because of all these German names, they took on the name of Windsor, which is the name of a house. And so they're called Windsor now. Or sometimes the boys are called Wales. Their last name became Wales rather than Windsor. I'm not sure why that was. You'd have to ask somebody who knows, I guess. However, let's go back to this bit about the Queen in particular. I'm not saying anything bad about the Queen. I've never met her. I've never bowed before her. I know Sir Paul McCartney certainly did, and I think I don't know who else in the Beatles did. Somebody can look that up. There's lots of people out there who are Beatles aficionados, and when I was growing up, I initially did not like the Beatles, and then I did like the Beatles, and then it almost, it sort of takes over your life after a while somehow. However, let's go back to the Queen. I keep saying I'm going to talk about the Queen. The Queen is required to bow believe me or not, to two people in this world. Isn't that interesting? Now, there is a place in England, the city is called London, and there's a central part of London called City of London. And it is like saying Washington, D.C. The City of London has a mayor who is unelected. Bet you didn't know that. He is also a German. I know. That's what I thought too. It's like, really? Oh yeah, he's a German too. So what's his name? His name is Rothschild. I'm sorry. Try to say it in a German way, you know. It's like they say, you speak French to your lover, English to your banker, and German to your dog. Anyway, the Queen has to bow to, he's called, he's a baron. I don't know how, he's not from England, he's from Germany. And there was a time in England's past when Jews were not allowed, he's a German Jew, Jews were not allowed in England. Anyway, his name is Baron Rothschild. I've forgotten his first name, I used to know it. He's unelected. He runs the City of London, unelected. He answers to no one. The Queen of England answers to him. This is amazing. He did not go to Prince Harry's wedding. He did not go to Prince William's wedding. I don't know that he was invited. If he did, he went in disguise, probably. So there is one other person on this planet that the Queen of England must bow to. Not only must she bow, she has to be clothed completely in the color black, if black is a color. And that is the Pope. Now, I want to point out to you, the Queen of England is the head of the Church of England. But she must bow to the head of the Roman Catholic Church. And she's got to wear black. Even her knickers. Black everywhere. And she must bow. These things are fascinating to me, ladies and gentlemen, and after I did this video yesterday, I thought, I have to go on and do another short one because you need more information, as we all do. As I learn these things in my life, I go, I wonder why that is. I wonder what happened here, really. Anyway, I hope it gives you something to think about. Hope everybody's having a nice day. I'm going to shut down. I know it's a short one. I'm going to shut down right now. Toodly-doo. Have fun, everybody. Bye-bye now.